talking about sales confidence and sales mastery. So like I said, you guys submitted that on a poll, but also what's kind of it's been really prevalent, right? So sales conversations have been coming up a lot with my clients at the moment, and I had all these ideas after having conversations with them, so I've just jotted down a few things. But what I want to say is sales confidence and sales mastery, okay? You need to have all your ducks in a row, right, before you can actually have full confidence in your offer. So, everything that I'm going to be talking about now is, caveat to that is that you've completed a deep dive market research. So when I'm saying deep dive market research, I'm talking about, having spoken to 10, minimum 15, 25, okay, maximum ideal clients, and actually asking them, what would you need to see in a program? I'm not going to go into depth about that, and from that you would have had put together a offer that comes off the back of your market research, so that you're not second guessing, right, what's actually required in your offer in order for it to sell like crazy, right? So you might be tempted to create an offer because you're a past version of who would be your ideal client. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Go and do your market research. Have a solid offer. And also, to caveat that, in order to be having sales calls, you do need to have a strong and simple lead generation strategy. So for those of you who don't really know what lead generation is, it says what it is on the tin, right? So it's about generating leads through there's different ways to do it, but basically you're having conversations with people and generating leads. So you need a market research in place, you need your solid offer, and you need your lead generation system in place before you can move on to sales confidence, guys. Okay, so like, if any of you don't know how to do market research in depth, if any of you don't have a solid offer or are just perplexed by a lead generation strategy, then just let me know. We can jump on a quick 20-minute call. I can basically go over the blueprint of how you get from zero, you might have 1 or 2 clients, or you may have 0 clients, okay, of how you can do that, the complete strategy and blueprint in order to get from that to getting to 5, 10k months, right? So if you are missing that, drop a comment, drop a comment down below, blueprint, and we'll jump on a 20-minute coffee chat. All right, it's nothing intense. We're just going to go through the strategy. So yeah, if you've got that in place, then it's time to move on to sales mastery. Now, sales is really, really dear to my heart because I absolutely hated sales when I was a coach in the beginning, when I was a new coach, right? I would second guess myself all the time. And I've come to realize that it's because I didn't have the deep dive market research. I didn't have the solid offer. I didn't have a lead generation strategy that I felt comfortable with. And, in all honesty, I didn't have a great sales strategy in terms of what I was saying on a call with somebody. I couldn't get out of my own way, okay? So completely revamped that, and that has led me to 15k in 45 days and heading on to 10k months. So I just want to share that with you to demonstrate that just because you are not hitting the numbers now or not where you want to be in your business, you absolutely can get there. If it's possible for me, it's 100% possible for you. Okay, so the reason why you may not be converting people into clients and not converting sales simply could be that you're not booking enough calls. So are you booking any calls? Okay, if you're not actually booking any sales calls at the moment, then let's have a chat about how you can actually get people onto a call. Okay, or it could be that maybe you are booking sales calls. Maybe you're hopping on like 2-hour calls. So I was on a call with a aspiring coach last night actually, and she told me that she was on a call with somebody for 3 hours, right? And this isn't unheard of. This is what, one of the things that came back on my market research, and the reason why I've developed my program the way I have. And I've also been on the receiving end of that, being on 2-hour calls with people, and you are basically spending that time coaching somebody through a problem, right? and then at the end of it you're like, oh shit, I better talk about my program, okay? And because you've coached this person so well for 2 or 3 hours, they're like, oh, okay, I thought this was just a free call, or I'm okay, like I've worked through that, right? Please don't fall into that trap, okay? So if that's happening to you, let me know, and we can kind of brainstorm some ways that actually you can avoid doing that, because there is a simple method, okay? And it's all about having a visual representation, okay? You don't need to be getting on calls that are any longer than half an hour in order to sign, soul aligned, heart centered clients up, okay? So I should imagine that, you probably want to sign up 2, 3, 4, 5K clients, okay? You want to share your gifts because you're awesome at what you do, right? So I just want to share that with you and tell you that sales gets to be fun, sales gets to be creative, and sales for me is like my favorite thing now because it's a vibe. Like if you're getting on a sales call and it's like that, where you're having 2, 3 hour calls with somebody, it's very draining, the energy is heavy, right? Just think about when you've invested in something in the past. Have you actually felt like that? You probably haven't. You've probably felt like, yeah, you feel the energy, like so excited, like you've got that transformation coming, you're ready to invest, the coach feels it too, right? And that's how things have felt for me. So that's what you want to emulate, that feeling, okay, that elevated emotion with your prospects on the call. And actually, if it feels icky, then there's something wrong in your process, okay? It could be that you've got a really long script that you're following. Maybe you don't know what to say on the sales call. So like in your mind, you're always thinking like, oh my God, I don't know what to say, and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Let's talk about it, because if there's anything icky there, then yeah, there's something missing, okay? There's probably something really small that just needs tweaking. So let me know, guys, okay? So now I kind of want to tell you about the biggest mistakes that I see that are blocking you from making sales. Now this is things that I've done myself in the past. This is something that has come up in my market research, and this is also conversations that I've had very recently with some of my clients. So the first one is a biggie, right? And probably I reckon almost all of you would do this at some point, right? Definitely I have. It's making a financial decision for the prospect. So maybe you hear them say about a bill, or they've just said something that you think, oh great, oh, they're not going to be able to afford my services, it's going to be a wasted call, okay? Or simply you just you've judged them, right? You've looked at their profile, or you've kind of seen their background, or and it could be that you're just doing this subconsciously, but you've made a decision based on either something that the person said or the way they've presented themselves, okay? Or perhaps you've had further conversations with the person, previous conversations before, that has just led you to consciously or unconsciously make a decision for that person that they're not able to afford your services, okay? So in your mind, you are thinking, you're doubting yourself to begin with, and then also potentially on the call, before the person has even had a chance to say yes, you started talking about payment plans and this and that. Or maybe you just don't even make your offer because you feel sorry for the person at the end of the call and feel like they're just not going to be able to afford it. Please stop that. Please stop making a financial decision for somebody else. I have had so many people surprise me that I have seen signs. I've told myself, okay, they've not been able to invest, and they've paid in full, right? At the end of the day, if they want the transformation, they'll find a way of doing that without putting themselves in financial hardship, okay? And then I've had people as well who have shown all the stuff on Facebook, like going on this holiday, I've got this fat car, living the high life, and you jump on a call and they're like, actually it's such a financial stretch for me at the moment, I just can't afford to do it, okay? So please stop making a financial decision for somebody, okay? This actually came up on one of my coaching clients this week, so it was at the top of the forefront of my mind, okay? And because it's such a common one, right? So make your offer. At the end of the day, they can just say no. But if you're not making offers, you're not going to be making sales, okay? Another big mistake that I see is, and I've been guilty for this, and you will probably be too, especially in the beginning, is concentrating on what you're saying instead of actively listening to the prospect, okay? So when you are concentrating on what you're saying, or even what you're thinking, so you may be thinking in your mind, oh, this person isn't going to buy, they can't afford it, this is going to be another no like I've heard before, or it could be anything, right? Any of those things. If you're thinking about those things, you are not actively listening to the person, okay? And the prospect can tell. You can tell when somebody is not really fully listening and invested. And the secret of sales mastery is not even what you say, right? It's how you made that person feel. So it starts by really actively listening to the person so that you can respond fully instead of kind of skimming over what they've said. Okay, so don't be bringing in your baggage about, oh my god, what does my hair look like on this camera, or I don't know when the best time is to present my offer, or is this too much, am I going to hear a no again, right? Just get it all out of your mind, okay, before the call, okay? And another thing that I see is just like verbal diarrhea on the call, where you just literally get on a call and you're like blah, 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 right? Going on and on and on and on and on. And you haven't given the prospect a chance to like stop, pause, ask a question, so throughout the sales conversation you want to say to the person and set the scene as well, be the authority. Hey, so and so, the purpose of this call is, to go over the program. This is a 45-minute call together, and I'm going to be talking about the program. At the end of the call, I'll ask you whether you want to join the program or not, and you can simply say yes or no. There's no high pressure sale. It puts the person at ease. And then when you're talking about your program, you say, hey, so and so, I'm just going to share my screen now, and I'm going to go over my program. I will be talking about it, but please, I would love for you to just stop me at any point and ask any questions. And also throughout the program, when you're presenting it, it's just stop and ask the person, hey, is this all making sense to you so far? Okay, this is really, really important, okay? Because again, people purchase from humans. It's about how you made that person feel. So actively listening, actively giving the person a chance to ask any questions and cover things, because again, they might be thinking questions in their mind, but then if you're going on and on and on, they're just going to completely forget what they were thinking and what to ask you, and it's going to be complete overload. And they also might think, okay, this person's kind of just going on and on and on. Is this what it's going to be like if I work with them? So it's really important to just catch yourself there, okay? And yeah, and another thing about the verbal diarrhea again is when you come to actually say the investment, right? So you would go through your program, ask any questions. Then when it comes to the investment part, you would say, hey, so the investment's a 5K offer, paid in full. And then you don't need to be going on and on and on about the payment plans and this and that. Just say it. Just pause, okay? Because the person needs to digest exactly what you said and wait for a response, okay? Then you can go from there. Then if there's an issue around payment, then you can go on to it, okay? So this is really, really important. And another big mistake that I see is people becoming really disheartened when they don't make a sale. And this can stop them showing up. This can keep them stuck in thinking, oh, I'm going to hear another no, or this person's going to say they don't have enough money, okay? Please go into the sales conversations unattached from the outcome, because realistically, the closing rate for a coach is around 20%, right? So you're not going to get them all. You're going to hear no's, and it's okay. It's practice for you. At some point, maybe you'll purchase their services. Maybe they'll become a good friend, a collaboration. Maybe they'll refer you. Maybe they'll even become a client later on, okay? So just, give your head a little wobble, and remember, 20% of people will convert, and it's cool. It's okay. Don't let that, stop you from making offers, okay? Or you thinking that you don't know what you're doing and you're not good at sales, because you can. Everybody can be. It gets to be easy. I never thought I would say that, and here I am saying that to you guys, and I share that with you because I just want you to know it's like day and night when you've got a good system in place and you're just a human to another person, right? Okay, so I'd love to know if you have any questions about that so far. Okay, let me know. Okay, cool. So drop any comments that you might have about those biggest mistakes in the comments below. If you're watching on a replay, drop a hashtag replay. I would love to know what your biggest takeaway is and if you are currently doing any of these mistakes in your business right now. So now we're going to talk about what you should actually be doing, okay? So these are the shifts that you can make in order to, close the deal and make sales in your coaching business. As of today, you can make sales in your coaching business, right? So I want you to come from a place of an elevated emotion, right? So we're all coaches here, spiritual coaches, healers, right? So you all know about emotions and the impact that emotions have, and the impact that your thoughts on your emotions have, and how that impacts your actions, right? So elevated emotions means that you are coming from a place that you feel worthy of charging 3 or 5K as an investment to a client, okay? And if you currently don't feel that you are worthy of that investment, then we need to have a little call, okay? We need to have a little conversation, a little coffee chat, because I would love to know what's holding you back, and I would love to help you move through those shifts. Again, when we come back to, people buy from humans, if you don't have an elevated emotion, right? If you aren't in a place where you feel you're worthy, how do you expect somebody to realistically invest in your coaching program? No matter how good your program is, if you're really lacking that worthiness, those elevated emotions, then how are you going to convert anybody? Because we are energy, right? And your prospect, your ideal client, they can feel that. When you write a piece of content, have you ever read a piece of content and you can just feel that person's energy, right? You love it, you're like, damn, something about that made me just stop scrolling and write a comment. And that's to do with the person's energy that came across through the content, okay? And it's the same on a sales call. So remember to, have an elevated emotion. Remember to, have a good energy before a call, okay? And put your focus on the person and not you. So a way to really help with elevated emotions is have a bit of a sales ritual, so it could be like for some people, it could be that, you do a bit of meditation, you do a healing practice. For others, it's like, get your favorite song on, get a high five tune on, a tune when you're just like, yes, this makes me feel really good. I mean, one of those tunes where you're literally like singing out loud, even though you're terrible at singing, right? Just have a practice where you get into a feel good place, okay? And, remind yourself as well that you can do this, okay? You are worthy, okay? So the experience that the other person has is so important on that sales call, because people remember how you made them feel. Even if they decide that they're not going to invest, that's cool, okay? But it's about making that person feel seen, heard, understood, and it's about demonstrating and articulating very clearly your process as it pertains to the client, so that they have full confidence, okay, in your offer. And this goes back to the very thing that I talked about at the beginning, about having a step-by-step offer and process that somebody can visually see, okay? Now, a way to help somebody experience the emotions of the success, the transformation that they will receive at the end of your program is, start asking the person, like, how would it feel if, by the end of this program, you got XYZ? What would that mean for you? What would that mean for your family, okay? And there's 2 ways you can do this. You can simply ask these questions, as I have right now, or you can take that person through, a short but powerful visualization. So, asking them like, close your eyes, take some deep breaths, talk them through taking the deep breaths, and get them to a state where they're like imagining how it would look, how it would feel, how it would taste, the impact that it would have on their life if they got this transformation, okay? And you want to do all this before you start talking about the program, okay? And it just really helps kind of bring to the surface, that experience that the person would feel, those elevated emotions if they were to receive that transformation. And that's absolutely what's on offer with your program, okay? And, I want you to also be confident in your ability to sell. I want you to remember that you are limitless, okay? And abundance isn't just about money. Abundance is about, you being abundant in everything in your life. Like, you're amazing at everything you do. And, just remembering, like, yes, there's a 20% close rate, and there is literally billions of people on Facebook who are ready to invest, who are ready to pay at least $3,000 for your program, okay? So just remember that, it's there for the taking, but you need to be presenting your offers, and you need to have the right mindset. And last but not least, when we're talking about abundance mindset, just be grateful. Like, be grateful that you're having conversations with people. Be grateful to be having networking opportunities. Be grateful that you're in a position that you're able to help transform somebody's life. Be grateful that that person, decided not to invest, because actually you still got the chance to hop on a call and practice your sales mastery, your sales skills, okay? Show gratitude in everything that you do, and the universe will show it back to you. Okay, so I would love to know, what's been the most helpful thing for you, what's been your biggest takeaway in this live today. And if you are struggling with sales, if you don't yet have an offer where you're able to jump on a sales call and confidently close 20% of the sales, I would love to have a chat with you in the DMs. I'd love to offer you some advice, or just jump on that 20-minute coffee chat and just walk you through the blueprint on how to get consistent 3 to 5 clients month in, month out, because it isn't a hard process. So guys, I am literally going to hop off now, go and do the school run, go and get the youngest back home, help with homework, and that's the beauty.